A lone samurai draws his katana as thousands of enemy soldiers close in on him. With his back against a rock monolith, he fights to the death, taking down as many of his enemies as he can before finally succumbing to a bullet wound. This is the story of Japan's last samurai and the final battle of Shiroyama. Throughout the late 1800s, Japan underwent a huge shift in power. A change that would see the country move from being ruled by an emperor with a feudal system of government to becoming a modern democratic state. But this modernization wasn't welcomed by everyone. A small group of samurai fiercely loyal to the emperor resisted this change. And when a group of rebels assassinated the pro-Western emperor, these loyalists seized their chance to take over. They placed the new emperor under their control and began ruling the country. This went on for about a year until the new emperor grew tired of being a puppet and called upon the very people who had helped him to become emperor to put down the rebellion. Among those called to fight were the Shinsengumi, an elite group of samurai loyal to the new government. The loyalist samurai fled to the southernmost island of Okinawa, where they made their final stand at the Battle of Shiroyama. The battle began in late 1877 with the loyalists setting up camp near the village of Shiroyama. They numbered around 3,000 men, mostly samurai from the northern domains of Satsuma and Hizen. The rebel forces were larger, numbering around 10,000 men, but quality, not quantity, was what the samurai had on their side. They were the elite warriors of Japan, highly trained in the art of war and battle. Meanwhile, the rebel army was mostly made up of farmers and bandits who had little to no experience in organized warfare. The first attack came from the rebels who charged the samurai position in full force. But as soon as they got within sword range, they were cut down by the elite swordsmen. Day after day, the rebel forces attacked, only to be repelled by the samurai defense. But the samurai knew that this defense wouldn't last forever. Their ammunition was low and the rebel army kept bringing more and more men to the fight. They needed a way out. One was provided to them in the form of a massive typhoon that swept across the island. The typhoon lasted for days, making the already muddy ground even more treacherous and causing landslides that blocked roads and made escape nearly impossible. When the typhoon finally passed, the samurai saw their chance and made a fighting retreat. Taking the emperor with them, they fought their way through the rebel army, all the while suffering heavy casualties. By the time they reached the safety of their ships, only a few hundred samurai remained. Among them was Saigō Takamori, one of the most famous samurai of all time. He was a general in the Imperial Japanese Army and a leader of the Satsuma domain. When the news of the battle reached Tokyo, the emperor ordered that the remaining samurai be granted noble titles and given generous pensions. No more would they serve the emperor as soldiers, but they could keep the wealth they earned as soldiers. As for those who didn't survive the battle, they were given lavish funerals with full military honors. Saigō Takamori survived the battle, but he would soon be called upon to fight again. He was sent to suppress another rebellion in Taiwan, but it was there that he would meet his end. Cornered by the rebel army, he drew his katana and charged into the fray. His men fought bravely, but in the end, Saigō was shot and killed. As he lay dying, he uttered the famous words, "It is the way of the samurai to repay in kind the benevolence of others." And with that, he died. And so ended the life of one of Japan's greatest samurai. Today, the site of the final battle is a historical park that preserves the memory of those who fought and died there. Every year on November, visitors gather at the park to pay their respects to the fallen samurai and to remember the final Battle of Shiroyama, the last samurai. What did you think of this story? Which samurai era should we cover next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thanks for watching. See you next time.